No, whatever it is.
Facebook.
YouTube.
Oh, shoot, it's not early.
It's right on time.
All right, we got
I'll
live.
close my computer here.
On this one.
We're gonna have a sip of water, and we're gonna get to it. All right. So, let's see here. First thing, Mr. Zabin. Armand Guillotine. We're going to talk about the Armand Guillotine first. We're going to get the party started with a little bit of technique here. Hello, everybody out there. I can't really see what's going on. I have my wife is no, you're fine. You're fine. My wife is monitoring over here. Just let me know if I go out of the screen or whatever. Armand Guillotine. There's a whole lot to cover, and a lot of it really can start from the standing position. And I guess the first thing is why the Armand Guillotine. It's kind of funny. I remember when it became a thing, the Armand Guillotine. At first, we thought, a lot of people that tried to finish the Armand Guillotine didn't know what they were doing. We'd kind of like make fun, like, look, he's trying to finish the guillotine. He's got the Armand. But not too long after that, Gracie, I think, was the first one to really to make the adjustment and actually catch the Armand Guillotine at least on a higher level in MMA and finish it against some top-notch guys. And then it kind of became like, oh man, we gotta learn this. What's going on? What's different about it? And so it kind of exploded from there. And one of the things that's nice about the Armand Guillotine is that sometimes it's easier to catch. The better the player that you're dealing with, let's have you up on your knees for me, the better they are protecting their neck. And one of those things is closing off space. So if you catch yourself here and he's shooting there's typically not a whole lot of gap, and sometimes you're going to catch this head and arm position. There's a lot of other things you can do from it, but the Armand Guillotine is a really, really good, it's a great choke. And the thing that's great about it is that, again, that it's a little bit more complex to defend, okay? So the difference here is that when we get that arm in there, we catch the arm in there and we get to the guard here like this, okay? One of the things, let me make some space here, okay? So you can finish it in the closed guard. You can finish it even with just your leg across here like this and the other leg over top of the back, all right? But the main thing is you don't want them to jump to the other side, okay? To the opposite side of where their head is on. So as long as you stop them there, you can finish this choke fairly easily from here, just with the leg over top of the hip, just kind of connecting with them. But the difference comes into when you try to go for the choke. What happens is if you're just extending straight, let's say the basic standing guillotine, it's going to be hard to finish that because this arm is running into the armpit. So if this is the only action you're doing, which is perfectly fine for the standard guillotine, when you're pulling up this arm, they're connected. That runs into the armpit, and you run out of room to take away the space. You can take some space away by pushing down with the shoulder, and I would still do that even in a standard guillotine. But what we need to do is something different with the hands. So when this arm gets stuck up underneath the armpit, they can go no further. I'm still going to do this. I'm still bending this elbow down towards my hip. Okay, I'm drawing this up, but what I'm going to do with this hand is I'm going to rotate this. Since this can't come up any higher, I'm just turning and using it to help push this up into the neck. At the same time, this part where you're using your lateral muscles and your bend to the side becomes critical for the finish. So let's have you over here on this side, okay? So once I catch the neck here, okay, and there's a lot of ways of setting it up, and I fall back, okay? And I'm here, now I'm gonna bend this direction, okay? I wanna bring this elbow down towards my hip, and I'm crunching, I'm pushing his neck into the choke, okay? So that way we can still have an effective choke with the arm in, and it becomes a little bit more complex. Now, there's a lot of ways of setting it up, and a lot of them, from the standing position, you can set it up from the standing position, sometimes just snapping the person down and grabbing the neck. One of my favorite things to do anytime I'm going for a guillotine or just for a neck wrap in general is once I snap the head down, I want to get that chin strap, what we call a chin strap, just grabbing a hold of the chin. And if we can switch angles here like this, you can see if I, even if I can't make a connection here somewhere, I'm holding on because it's hard. If this hand is sticking out, it's easy for him to reach in here, grab my fingers to pull him down. Okay, so if I'm here, it's a little bit more complex. I'm taking away more space. I can fight, and when I'm ready, I'm going to curl my fingers so that I have that grip to hold on to. Okay, so, and of course we want to take away all the space and keep them close. So I want their head to kind of pop out. But when I push it in, now I've got that grip. And I always want to make a fist out of the choking hand. Okay, because if they reach up and grab fingers, right, it's easier for them to pull that hand down, okay, and defend the choke. All right. So, how are we doing? We got any questions?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. Do we have anybody watching? Are we actually live on?
Miss Allison is here.
Good.
We have Dustin and Lindsay.
Sweet. All right. So, now let's talk about the defense because it can get a little complicated. Standard guillotine defense is really just countering the pressure, okay? So especially in the guard position. From the standing, we don't have the space. We'll do that in another class. Put me in the guillotine, please. Okay. So here, same side hand is going to reach in as deep on the choking arm as I can. This arm comes deep around the neck. Okay, so when he falls back and crosses his leg, I need to come up on my toes and put all my weight into his neck until he lets go. Okay, so my arm is deep underneath his neck. My thumb is up and I'm driving my shoulder down into his neck, okay? Now, anytime you get your neck wrapped, you always want to turn your chin in towards your opponent. And you're going to pull down. And this is a very common mistake, okay? I want to point this out because it's very common in a lot of the choke holds. The reflex for most people when they feel a choke is they go here. Whether it's rear naked choke, whether it's guillotine, they always try to come here right where they feel the choke. Okay, but we'll use the rear naked choke as a demonstration. The reason that we want to develop reflexes of defending chokes properly is because when he goes for the choke here and I feel that choke, if I'm pulling here, it's not any effect. Okay, so let's come back. All right, so even if I'm here and he's going up into the neck, you go pull your arm up. Yes, it's hard for me to beat him here because I don't have very good leverage. Okay, now do it again. Okay, now go up. Now it's easy for me to control because I'm fighting the lever. All right, this is where he wants the choke to be, but this is not the best place to fight it. Right, the best place to fight is at the end of the lever. So if you put us in a different position in the guillotine, I'm not grabbing where my neck is or even where I can grab. I want to reach down as far on the choking arm as I can, so I have better leverage. And turn your chin. Basic standard rule. Anytime you get your neck wrapped, headlock, guillotine, front headlock, whatever, turn your chin towards your opponent, okay? Now, let's talk about the arm in guillotine, all right? If we were doing it from the standing position, there'd be a slightly different movement that we would add in. And you have to recognize, how is my neck getting wrapped? And you develop your reflexes. And all I can say about that is you need to practice them, right? So it's just to develop a reflex, you're just going to have to practice over and over and over and develop those neural pathways where you feel your neck get wrapped, boom, you're grabbing the right manner, okay? Because all the chokes, a lot of them can be different, especially when you start talking about collar chokes, all right? And knowing where to grab, where to hold, and where the opening is going to be. And what you need to do with the rest of your body. Now, with the arm in guillotine, okay, remember, and anytime we get our neck wrapped, we want to bring our body to the opposite side that our head is wrapped on, okay? Now remember, we block that by bringing the leg over or putting them in the full guard. So we have to solve that problem. And remember, in the standard guillotine defense, we wrap and we make it uncomfortable for them. So that counter is a lot easier, less complex than arm in. Okay, arm in guillotine, you're not going to be able to put that same pressure on their neck. And that's one of the great things about that arm in guillotine is that it's still super effective, but it's harder to defend, okay? More complex. So what we're gonna do, I'm still gonna go ahead and trap the arm in, okay? So I'm still gonna try to push this back arm back a little bit to kind of take away some space to make it harder for him to rotate. Again, I'm gonna turn my chin in, but I'm kind of talking to you guys, and I'm reaching in, I'm grabbing in as deep as I can. Now, if he's got me in the full guard, okay,
one thing you can do, this is kind of mean. Go ahead, sit up a little bit higher. Let's get you a good wrap. As long as I'm able to talk, okay? This is kind of mean. I probably shouldn't show this. You okay?
Yeah. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
That's effective.
Yeah, I felt your back pop a little bit. You all right?
Yeah.
Good. Maybe I shouldn't have shown that. So basically what I did was I made a fist and I propped underneath of his spine and I put my weight, since my arm is stuck and I can't wrap his neck, I'm gonna put all my weight on this kind of, yeah. And a lot of times it works. Sometimes it doesn't, but that sometimes, you good? Okay, I probably should have warned you.
It just felt like
I've never shown you that before.
chiropractor.
Yeah, he popped a little bit. That's why I let go quick, All right, so let's go back. Let's say we can't rely on that, all right? My neck is wrapped, the arm is stuck in. I can't just pull the arm free, okay? So what I'm gonna do is if this leg is down, I'm gonna hop over it right away, but it's probably not gonna be, okay? So if this leg is down on the floor and I can hold it there, I'm gonna hop out, all right? But let's say I'm in the closed guard, things got bad, here we go. I'm gonna prop up, I'm gonna use my elbow as I'm defending wide base, and I start pressing as I'm defending my neck to open the guard. My knee goes to the floor, okay? And they don't expect this to happen a lot, but if I start to slide through here, that you don't want to go all the way across. What I'm looking for is space to get this leg off my back. And so when I can grab a hold of the pants or grab the foot, I'm gonna hold it down, I'm gonna hop my body to this side. Now, if he's still holding on, okay? Now, sometimes they'll hold on here just long enough so they can get the legs back inside. We don't want that to happen, so my base is most important, all right? And you also don't want to get rolled here. And if you feel yourself getting rolled, okay, if he starts to bridge towards me the other way, yes, you may have to step back, all right? Now, what I'm gonna do is right here, I can't get my arm out, okay? Standard guillotine defense is I shrink, my arm is gonna come here, go for a second, is to frame and to come here and kind of force them to let go. Let's scoot back this direction. But once I get my neck free, let's turn this way. So you've got my head and arm. If he's still holding on to my head and arm here like this, I need to get my arm free first. So I'm gonna make that back step. I'm putting my weight on him, wide base. I move a little bit north, and now I start shrinking this elbow as I twist my hips. Now my arm can come out. I'm back in my base. I come here, roll into the neck to get my arm free, okay? So, and I always suggest, even though there's this Von Flu choke some of you guys are familiar with, let's go ahead and show them that real quick. Von Flu choke, I'll show you. Lay down for me, please. Okay. So let's say I'm in the guillotine, I take him down, or I hop out of the guillotine, get to the side, he's still holding on my neck. Okay. Remember, you always want your body to be on the opposite side of the side that your head is wrapped on. So if my head's over here, I want my body over here. Okay. Bad things happen when my whole body's on this side. So if I'm here, now the Von Flu choke is just this. I'm coming underneath here, just like we did from the guard. Okay, my arm is deep. And in fact, I've seen guys do this from the guard. Now, this arm comes up, I make a gable grip. Get your arm out. Take your arm out. Can you get your hand out? No, it's stuck. Now the compression happens here. And I'm pushing up towards his neck. You okay? Good. Don't hang on too long. So I'm compressing the shoulder up and I'm locking. When I put my hands together and my head is stuck in here, my shoulder's locking that arm in place. He can't get his arm out. So this arm, I'm gonna reach deep underneath here, and this is driving in as I'm pushing the shoulder and everything up this direction. Now, the reason that I don't suggest that for a self-defense situation, okay, is mainly because if you're putting that pressure down there and you're against somebody who's much bigger and much stronger than you, your arm is trapped and they're gonna be able to roll you, okay? So we always teach safety first, and realizing that somebody wrapping the neck in a fight is not necessarily a skilled, it's not necessarily indicative of a skilled practitioner. It's a very common thing, okay? Skilled practitioners don't have to, be skillful to do damage with a good punch. Same thing if they wrap a hold of your neck. If they're strong, there's difference between skilled and formidable. You can have a very formidable person who's never had one day of any type of martial arts training, and they can be a natural fighter. There are some people that are just naturally, physically gifted at fighting, okay? That's why that's why Jiu-Jitsu exists, to deal with those people, okay? So if I get stuck and my head is wrapped, maybe he doesn't know how to get back to a guard or anything, but he's got a hold of my head, and he may just want to bridge and roll me. And if he's bigger and stronger than me, and my arm is stuck underneath here like this, and I'm trying to get fancy, bridge into me, roll me. Yes, it's very possible he could roll me over, because he's holding on my head, okay? He doesn't know how to be big and crazy. But it's, I've seen it happen, okay? Especially when you have a big size difference, okay? Person on the bottom's a lot bigger. They have a hold of the head. They're just able to bridge and roll you over because my point of base is underneath here. So if he's here like this, now bridge, the other way, this way. Yes. Very common. Bridge your hips, go. And then my head gets stuck and I get rolled underneath. And then, life sucks because you didn't practice your basics. All right? So come this way, son. Here. Now, if I play safe, my neck is wrapped, base, roll me. Okay, now I have base. So when I come here to put pressure, okay, my number one objective once I arrive in this position is to stay safe and keep my base, okay? I don't want to lose the position. So when I come here, because I'm not getting choked right now, okay? So when I come back, I'm going to grab the wrist, I hold here, and at any point he tries to roll me, bridge the other way to roll, yes. I can always sink my hips, put my hands out for base. And then I can come back and I can put pressure on his neck, okay? Always keeping in mind that, striking is an option as well. We can use an elbow strike, a knee strike to the head, a knee strike to the body, as long as we're not off balancing ourselves. Don't lose your base in order to do that, because you are still in the dominant position for the most part, but they do have your neck. So safety is very, very important, all right? So, yeah. How you doing? Yeah, I just wanted to cover some of those things on the guillotine, Armand Guillotine. And there's ways of getting to that side position without them from the standing position. Maybe we can cover some of that Saturday if we are able to change camera angles and pop it up there. I'm ready. Bring them.
So we have a couple. We have one from Facebook from DJ asking, can you show different crucifix escapes?
Oh, man.
And then Justin on Facebook asked for knee on belly cross collar choke.
Okay. All right. So,
he said, how do you keep the position stable so you don't get swept?
On the knee on belly, cross collar choke. So for me, however I set it up, let's do that one first. Then we'll talk about the crucifix because that's a complex and crazy position. All right. And maybe, and that question was from YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how are we doing on time? I talk a lot.
We are at 6:18.
6:18, okay. So, the knee on belly, let me know if I go out of frame, all right? But the knee on belly, a lot of times I'll start this choke from the guard pass, and I'll shoot this hand here, and then because they still have my foot back in here, they still think that they have some sort of guard. So they'll try to push this knee off, and I try to center here, and then as soon as I see the opening, I'm gonna go for the choke, okay? Now, same thing, whether my foot is inside or I'm in the belly, either way. One of my favorite setups, okay, is here. Is kind of controlling this position, kind of blocking him here, and taking away. A lot of people want to go this direction to defend me in the belly, okay? Now, if I'm here like this, you all right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, if I'm here like this, and he's going to be focusing on this, and if I see his neck open, here, the thing I like about this grip here is he can't see this one coming. So it's kind of a modified cross-collar choke in reverse. You can't see it coming. I shoot the hand in. Once my hand goes in position, I've got a couple options depending on what he does, okay? So number one is I'm going to bring my forehead to the floor, okay? Now, as I'm doing that, my base, just like anytime you are a knee in the belly, I'll move my base wherever I need to stay on the top, okay, and to finish the position. So if he moves one direction or the other, I use my knee to kind of help manipulate him a little bit, all right? So if I'm here and I shoot this hand in, boom, I take the space away, I draw a line right down his spine. I don't want my head to go past that line, okay? So If I'm here, my forehead goes to the floor, my belly goes down into the V of the choke, okay? So right there, right here, my belly goes in, my forehead goes to the floor, I'm gonna lower my base. Now, if he's moving around, I use my knee to what I have to do. So if my knee goes to the floor, I can always come just and finish to the mount. So I can finish the position and go to the mount, but I don't really care about that as much as I do finishing the choke and keeping my base. So my belly goes down, I split my knees open, and I just need to kind of hover. So anytime you're on the, on the top, you want to have at least 3 points of base. With the knee on the belly, it's the one position where you're kind of like, you're kind of floating on the guy, right? You're surfing on them, right? So I've got 1 point of base here, 1 point out here. I have to be ready when I commit, okay? Because a lot of times people can kind of, use this. If I come over here too far, he can roll me over, all right? It's not the end of the world. I can still finish the choke, but I don't want, when I'm here, I'm focused on looking straight down through the center of his sternum here. So when I catch this, I'm going straight forward. Now, if he tries to roll me that direction, my knee can go to the floor, this back foot can come in, and I can catch my base and finish the choke right from the mount. So, I like that choke a lot, but the most important part is once your hand's in place, bring your forehead to the mat, okay? Forehead, not the top of your head, forehead. If you go top of the head, it can get stuck and it can roll and can hurt your neck really bad, okay? So I think that's the most important part is drawing that line and don't let your head go past that point and bring your hips low. Like as soon as you catch the choke, you want to push your belly down in, open your points of base. So now we have 1 point on them, 1 point out here, 1 point with our head on the floor, okay? And the lower, when you have those 3 points of base, you always want to center your weight in the most strategic way amongst those 3 points. Now 4 points are going to be better, okay? But there we have 3, all right? So you put those points out and you want your weight to be as low and as centered inside those 3 points as possible for the best stability, okay? Same if you have 4. If I've got 4 points of base, I want my weight to be centered strategically, right? It's going to change if you have certain situations like, say, closed guard. Like here, if he's in the closed guard, he's got me in the closed guard, yes, I'm a little bit tippable this way, but he has to open up the guard to take me back that way. So then I'll have to change. So we always have to be mobile and move our points and our weight, but the wider those points are and the lower they are to the ground, your center of your weight, the better. Okay, the more stable you're going to be. So hopefully that helps. I think that's kind of what he was talking about. Hope that helps, Justin. And now what?
Well, there was the question from YouTube, but we have a couple questions off of your Armand Guillotine too.
Okay.
One was asking, Pierre wanted to know, is there any benefit to rotate towards north-south if on top and someone keeps you in the headlock?
Yes, you can. Yes, with the Armand Guillotine, yes. Let's go back there.
Yeah, and Jimmy wanted to see the Armand Guillotine one more time too. So.
Yes. So the finish or the defense? I'll do both here in a second. So if he gets me here, okay, he's got me wrapped up. Go ahead, lock it up. Armand Guillotine, good. I'm going to defend, and if I can push the leg down now and kind of step across here like this, I'm looking for the opportunity to be able to pin this foot to the floor. Okay. So now if he's got the leg high, this is going to be a problem. So I may have to slide across here a little bit to bring my body this way. I'll grab whatever I can, pin it down. Okay. And then I'm going to jump to the other side. So I'm coming here now. If I have to go north-south, I wouldn't want to do it like this. Because here I'm really twisting myself and he can roll me. So if I had to go north-south to get my arm free, that's when I would make this back step. So the more I move myself a little bit more north, the easier it is for me to shrink that arm free, and then I can come back, okay? If that makes sense. So real quick, the Armand Guillotine, I'll show you one real quick setup that I picked up from, picked this up from here on. I like this little setup, it's real nice. And it's good for, really kind of self-defense, whatever, right? Or just training. Like it's a good Simple way of setting it up, okay? So we're all familiar with this, and the person sitting up and doing the hip bump sweep and all that. But he's a little bit more skilled player, okay? So he's not gonna just do what I want him to do, all right? But if I'm able to get the arm on the outside like this, okay? Now what I'm doing, right now, if I'm holding like this, pull your head free. Pull up, yes, not a problem, okay? But if, even against a skilled player, if I pull my knees to my shoulder, I pull my shoulder up and I'm holding the armpits here, okay? You don't like this, right? Get your head free. It's not comfortable, okay? Now what are you gonna do at some point? He's gonna sit up, and then I shift, and I wrap his chin, and now I can adjust, okay? Now I've got what I need. So let's do it again. As he sits up, I'm hitching a ride. I'm pulling in, I'm holding the armpits, okay? So it's hard for him to get his hands even on the inside. So as he sits up, sit up, good. Now, here, I'm gonna open my guard. I'm not putting the foot on the floor. I'm just kicking this leg out to shift my hips a little bit to get just that little angle so where I can shoot this hand in underneath. Now, I've got the chin strap. This hand's ready to go in. I grab the wrist, I fall back, lock the guard, boom. So that's a nice one. I like that one a lot. Picked that up from here on, I don't know, a couple of years ago. But that's a fun little setup for it. But again, it's the rotation here. It's using the shoulder and the armpit to push the neck into the choke as you're leaning this direction. Now, did I answer? I hope I answered everybody's question there. What time we got?
You're at 6:26.
Okay.
You still have to address the crucifix.
Do I have time to teach you how to do a crucifix?
Teach me. I know
Or do we want to
very.
start this on Saturday?
We could probably. I mean, I know a little bit about.
This was from
It's a YouTube question.
YouTube.
I
Okay.
know from one position. It's like in the turtle.
Oh, so you have done it before. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go right to the crucifix, and I'll say this. What we'll do is I'll bring him up to speed, and possibly Mandy, if she's allowed to train a little bit, I'll bring her up to speed on the crucifix and teach them some of these positions. But I'm gonna quickly show the position, and then I'll have him put me in the position, and then because I think he's done it before. And then maybe we can take a deep dive Saturday on the crucifix. Now I'll show a quick escape to the crucifix here in just a second, as soon as he's done fixing himself.
Looking pretty.
Take your time, but hurry. Okay. All right. Now here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and turn around. Okay, just stay right there. Sit up. Good. Okay, so basic crucifix, all right? We're not going to talk about how to get there and all that fancy stuff. We'll do that later, okay? This is your basic crucifix. I've got his arm trapped here. I've got an arm trapped here with the leg, okay? And now you've got free attacks here, okay? Chokes, all sorts of fun stuff. We can take a deep dive again on this on Saturday, how to get there and all sorts of stuff. So here, now it's hard for you to get out, right? What do you feel like doing? It's not a bad idea, but your neck is open. Oh man, you don't like that.
I don't know if right there.
Oh, how about a wrist lock? Maybe? How about this is terrible, right? And so he's got some good flexibility, but even here, that's a lot of pressure on your arm, right? If I extend my hips, you can arm lock them here. There's all sorts of stuff you could do, all right? Take them back, but you're gonna put me in that position. Okay, now,
I gotta figure out where I am here.
move your body over here. You're right
There we
here.
are. Yep.
Yes. Number one, best defense. Who?
Don't get stuck there.
You'll be there.
Don't be there, right? I believe that was the great master Miyagi
Yes.
who said, best defense, no be there, Daniel-san. So, don't get stuck in this position. But again, there's all sorts of tricky people out there, and they can get really good at it. Now, right now, the reflex for a lot of people, especially when they start, is to try to pull the arm like this. There's still a lot of pressure. If you bring your knee back to the floor slowly, yes. That's a lot of pressure on the arm. So, trying to pull it out here like this, it's all bad news. Tap.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. So, almost any way I turn my arm, there can be pressure added to it. Like he can adjust and change
his orientation of his legs and how he's holding. Most people just want to hold this here and put some pressure to open up the neck, all right? Now, protect this arm as much as you can. Like, it's going to be a hard, this is going to be really difficult to just hold him here. You'll see people try to do that. I don't think it's not viable against somebody who's bigger and stronger. A lot of times they really want to put that pressure so you like, oh my gosh, I feel, and then the neck comes, okay? So, even with this, even with the hand on the collar, which is probably the most common attack here, okay, you got to tuck your chin anyway. But even with this, let's say it's better to deal to not have to deal with this at all, but protect your arm as much as you can. No matter what they're doing here, try to keep your arm from getting hyperextended or smashed here. But the sooner you can slide yourself down and put your head in your armpit here, you're gonna turn. Now we can come up. Hopefully, sometimes you can bridge and roll yourself up on top on the other side. So that's the best case scenario. When you get to that position, let's turn this direction. So I found myself stuck here. I slide right away. I want to bring my body in line with his. Okay? I put my arm straight. So now, look, this arm's not in much danger. Start to stretch it. I can turn. Now, if I'm able to, I'm going to bring myself over top and come up here. Main thing is getting out of the position. But, yeah, that's the best way to get out. So that's my $10 move of the night. Hope that helps. Who was to ask that question?
I'm gonna butcher this, but DJ Hamburgla?
Yeah, there you go. We could just DJ could have worked.
That's what I said the first time.
Yes. Thanks for the question, DJ. Come back and see us Saturday at noon, and maybe we'll go a little deeper down the Crucifix rabbit hole. So, any other questions we can address?
Not yet, man.
Awesome. Well, we've reached our half-hour time limit. I talk too much sometimes, my wife tells me. So I'm trying to keep these as not short, but also not long-winded either. But we covered a good bit of technique, I think, even though I do ramble. So hopefully those techniques will help a little bit. If you guys have any suggestions or anything that you guys want to see, please let us know, reach out. Gosh, what else was I going to say? Merch in the merch link in the description below, whatever, I don't know.
We have our good friend Rojo sent us some pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Montana, right?
Montana, yeah. Repping Gracie, Ohio.
Gracie, Ohio here.
Yeah, so you can go to gracieohio.com. There's the online store there if you guys want to pick up anything there, t-shirts and all that stuff. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming and joining with us and all the support. And yeah, to my students, love you guys. And yeah, we'll see you Saturday.